Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator working in Scotland. I've come on today to do a wee card. I'm going just to show you or remind you of a technique that I used earlier in the year. I used it in maybe January or February. I think I did a challenge where I think it was shimmery or shiny or glistening or something along those lines was the challenge, and I used this these adhesive sheets that you can get in the annual catalogue. If you have a look at the back, towards the back of the annual catalogue, they are extremely handy, these sheets. They're the main tool that I'm using for this technique to give you a nice glittery finish. I'm going to do this card just in black and white because I think that will work quite well. So what I'm using is this stamp set here, Peaceful Place, which has got this beautiful scene here with the a big deciduous tree and then some evergreen trees in the background and a river and stones. So I thought I'd team that up and show you also just a little bit of masking. So it's kind of two techniques in one. So it's not what you'd call one of the simplest cards you can make. However, there's nothing complicated in what I'm doing. So it's just one or two processes happening within the card. So I'm going to use this little deer here and I'm going to pop him into this picture. So just to show you how to do that. So if you would bear with me, I'm not quite sure how long this will take. We'll do it from scratch, so I'll just show you what the bits I've got. So I have already, before the video, I have cut this top layer 9.7 by 14 centimetres and I've run it through the Big Shot with my embossing folder called Softly Falling? It's the one that's the falling snow, looks like falling snow. Again, it's towards the back of the annual catalogue. And I'm layering that onto a black mat, which is 10.1 by 14.4 centimetres. I work in centimetres. If you're really struggling, there's loads of wee apps that you can get to convert into inches if you need to, but if you're really stuck, contact me and I will help you to work out inches and things. So that's going to be the base of my card, and for my picture I'm going to stamp on this piece of Whisper White and do the sparkly bit onto it, and then I'm going to mat this. So that's the main part of this, is the main where the main activity happens. So just bear with me, I'll try and get a bit organised. That'd be something, me organised, that would be something. Because I always forget something, no matter how hard I try to be organised. So anyway, got the big stamp out, got my little deer out, and now I've forgotten to get my blocks out. I told you there would be something. Luckily, they're down beside me, so I'll just be a moment and this amazing case to keep my blocks in, so it's easy to find out. So there you go, he goes on there, and this one fits here, so we'll just take that. You can use the even bigger one, but I actually find it a wee bit heavy to work with. It's a fabulous big block, but anyway, so I'll put the case out of the way. Again, you can buy the blocks and the case in the annual catalogue, and they are sighted towards the back. So this is what I'm going to be stamping on. I'm going to be using Memento Black, and where's my box? I did previously cut out a mask, and let's hope I've not. So what I did was, whoops, I always keep these sort of things. If I make masks, I keep them in the set, in the box with the stamps, and that way you don't have to keep doing the same thing. Okay, now that wasn't so clever. So I stamped the wee deer that I'm going to use onto a post-it note on the sticky part of it, and then I've just carefully cut him out, or fussy cut him out, whatever, but with my snips. Best scissors you can buy anywhere. Anyway, so I've got that ready. So what I'm going to do here, some of it's guesswork, But I'm going to ink up my little deer. This is, again, it's kind of crafting off on the hoof. I'm not really a great planner when it comes to crafting. Crafting's my happy place, my therapy. So I tend to, once I've done something, I'm over it. So, do you know what? I don't like making hundreds of the same thing, although I do things. That's not the deer I wanted to use. What am I like? It's the little guy, the one here that's... I'll take that one off and get that cleaned, or if it's still wet I might stamp it onto something else. Anyway, let's not keep you guys waiting any longer. I do make lots of mistakes and I do get it wrong, but I think, you know, that's real. And I have had quite a lot of comments from people saying to leave the bloopers in, because the thing is, I don't really know how to take them out anyway. So, wow. So I've inked up my little deer. I'm pretty sure he's quite black. I'm using the centre of my grid paper just to help me kind of line things up, make sure things are a bit straight. But then I'll knock it flying and it'll be skint. So I've had a look at the picture, and again, so there is some water at the sort of in the middle. So I'm going to aim my little deer towards the bottom in the middle. So he is drinking water in the river. So I'm pressing him down. There you go, little deer. And then I'm going to mask him over. This way, just creating a wee scene with the deer. So here's my big stamp. I'm going to ink that up now because I'm going to take the memento to the stamp, because the memento pad is much smaller. And because this is a felt pad, I kind of think I twist it a little bit. I want to get quite a lot of ink on here, so I'm giving it a good... Let's go for it. Okay. So I'm going to turn this over. Just be careful not to drop it. These blocks are heavy, but they're excellent. So again, I'm just kind of aiming this so that the bottom of it is towards the feet of the deer and sort of centred over my picture. Some of it will stamp off, but that's okay, because that's what I wanted, to kind of frame the picture a bit. I'm just giving that ink time to transfer, because it's a very fine picture. The lines are very fine. So there we go. So we've got the nice scene here, and then all I've got to do is just peel off this mask of my deer. Come on. And there we go. What do you think? To put that carefully over there. So there I've got a nice picture. I'm going to hold it up. Can you see that better? Isn't that nice? Now, I decided that needs a bit of sparkle to sort of might be like a winter's day. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to get my inky pad out of the way. I already cut myself a piece of this stick it stuff. So what I'm going to do is get the double-sided adhesive over the front of this picture. I need to get myself a piece of copy paper or something ready. Old scratch paper, that'll do the trick. So that I'm going to spread glitter around. So I've got that ready. I've got my sparkly glitter ready. And so at the edge of here, can take that, because I want my picture to be completely covered in the adhesive. So we're going to start and peel this back a bit. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. Problem is I'm peeling it, that's better, the sticky was coming up a wee bit with the backing. I'm actually just going to pull it right off and lay it flat and then put my picture on it where there's no, where it's not come off, because I want all of it stickied up, if you know what I mean. And then I'm just going to carefully cut this, trim it to the size of my, it's a wee bit tricky, but it will be okay. And I've got to be careful, I'm putting this in the bin because it sticks to everything. It is a wonderful adhesive, but it's a bit tricky. But I have tried this, the last time I tried this, I did find that the edges do tend to get a bit damaged, and I want my picture covered properly, so that's why I cut a piece that was bigger than what I need. So we'll just trim up here a wee bit. Of course, keep scissors, special scissors for gunky, sticky things. Don't use your lovely sharp snips. These are quite old, these ones. Right, so that's all the excess cut off, and well, most of the excess stickies on my fingers, but I'm rubbing that off. So now we need to get, I'm actually going to pop this over here. Now we've got to try and get this off. I'm going to, where's my pokey tool? Who's got my pokey tool? I'm thinking that might just help me to lift this a bit. I want the backing paper off, and I want to take that carefully because I don't want to take the sticky with it. Okay, so then that's the backing paper off, and then all I'm going to do is use our beautiful Dazzling Diamonds glitter. I've not a lot of this left. I must order myself a new one, but I've had this for 3 years and I've used it a lot. I've even used it in shaker cards, so do you know, I have used, but it's a beautiful fine glitter. Again, you'll find this towards the back of the catalogue. I'm just popping it all over my picture. I've just tipped out what's left in this tub, and then I'll kind of move it about just to make sure the whole picture gets a nice even coverage. Isn't that lovely? It really gives a nice wintry picture. I don't know what you're seeing of that there, so I'm just popping that down. I'm going to pop the rest of the Dazzling Diamonds back in to my tub. Somebody remind me to order a new tub up in my next order. And I've got glitter everywhere. I tell my husband that he's such a lucky man to live in a glittery house, when he keeps pointing out to me that there's glitter all over the floor. And I just tell him he's lucky to have plenty of sparkle in his life. Quite often he's telling me I've got glitter on my face because it's quite static and it does stick. Anyway, and I'm just, what do you think? Do you think he's lucky to have a sparkly wife? So, just using my wet glue. Whoop, and I'm backing this onto, this is 10 by 8 and the black is 10.4 by 8.4 centimetres, just to give that very small edge all around it. Isn't that nice? And then the rest of the card, I wonder, maybe stamp a greeting on here. Probably end up ruining my card, but that's what I do it best. So let's not bring in a third stamp set, let's just use a greeting from one of these sets. So this one is happiest. Probably should get a bigger block, but I don't know about you, but I'm a bit lazy sometimes. So I've inked up that, and I'm actually just going to put the greeting down the bottom here where there isn't as much of the baubles, the snowfall or whatever you want to call it. It does give an impression of falling snow. Happiest Christmas wishes, that's okay. And then so there you go. Do you know, 2 techniques there. Some masking and some sparkly. So I'm just layering this up. I use wet glue because it just gives me that moment or two to kind of use my eyes and make sure it's good enough for me anyway. And then I'm going to layer this onto the white card base. Although, you know, there was a couple of techniques in there, it's not a very difficult card. So there we go. A wee bonus here, and I'll just, because it's going onto a rough surface and because I just want to give a bit of impact, just going to use some dimensionals. Again, running out of them as well, so better get them on the order. You don't need a lot, and just put one in the middle to keep it from flattening down. And then, like I keep telling you, these dimensionals are the best. The backing comes off really easily. Mind you, they do get all over the house. Always like walking up the stairs and I come across one and pick it up, and then you're in the bathroom and you find another one. They do go up the hoover though, so. So there you go, what do you think? I told you I would come back to you with some more cards with this deer, the Dashing Deer set. I'm totally in love with it, I love it. What do you think of that? I'm liking it. Don't forget to subscribe and push the wee bell icon so that you'll get notified of any more videos that I have coming out. I do know that I'm going to film another one this evening. I'm not quite sure when I'll put it out, but it is another masking one, but it's with sponging, and the deer are going to feature in that as well, these lovely small deer. Okay, so look forward to seeing you next time, or speaking to you next time. If you want to interact with me, just look down below. There's links to all my social media. I'm quite happy to have a chat with anyone about crafting and card making, and do you know, if you have any problems with the techniques, or you don't have a demonstrator and you want to find out more about Stampin' Up, just get in touch. Happy to have a chat. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. See you soon.